This video is sponsored by Aura. So, TikTok. Is it going to be banned again or not? No one really knows, but whenever TikTok comes up, so does our data and its safety. Banning TikTok is one thing, but that still leaves most of us at the mercy of every other major app and website, alongside data brokers who are able to purchase our data completely free of any legal consequences. On top of that, we hear all the time about different companies being hacked and our personal information being leaked to spammers, scammers, and identity thieves. With a focus squarely on TikTok, it goes without saying that the government isn't and has never really been interested in implementing wider legislation to protect consumers, and that's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. Aura helps take a lot of the guesswork out of staying safe online by tackling the issue on multiple fronts. They ID data brokers and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, as well as monitor the dark web, data leaks, and whether or not someone has tried to use your information to access your financial accounts. On top of all of this, Aura offers up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, as well as a VPN to help prevent these issues from ever arising in the first place. Don't wait until it's too late. Head on over to aura.com/reignbot for 14 days absolutely free to see if your personal data has been exposed. Again, visit aura.com/reignbot or click the link in the description for 14 days absolutely free. Fake Documentary Q is the name of a Japanese YouTube channel that has been on my radar for quite some time, and after finally watching some of their videos, it was clear that I just had to talk about it. As the name of the channel implies, Fake Documentary Q focuses on horror mockumentaries, and just to get this out of the way, yes, the quality is amazing considering that you can watch this stuff for absolutely free with high-grade English subtitles right here on YouTube. Throw on any mockumentary that I've covered in the past and compare it to this, and you wouldn't get the impression that you were watching YouTube videos. If you're a fan of Japanese mockumentaries, this is a goldmine and you don't have to pay a single penny to experience it. At the time of writing this, there are over 20 videos on the channel with runtime spanning from around 7 minutes all the way to just shy of 40. Each piece is a standalone tale, making this a horror anthology channel, which is just great because we need more like it out there, but beyond that, it means that you can hop right in whenever you want and not have to worry about playing catch up. Based on what I've seen so far, there are lots of theories floating around about how these bite-sized stories could be connected, and that's on top of speculation about each individual narrative. To put it simply, the content here is ripe for analysis, and while this video isn't going to get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I'd absolutely love to take a shot at it later on down the line if there is enough interest. As things stand right now, the FDQ channel has around 330,000 subscribers, with view counts that often far surpass that. But most of the fan base is concentrated in Japan, as you might expect, with not a lot of coverage outside of that. In fact, the only English-speaking creator I've seen with a video listed about this is Nightmind, and while I haven't watched it yet myself, I'm certain that it's great and just wanted to mention it in case you're looking for more content on this topic. Now, having said all of that, just to give you an idea of what we're working with here, I'd like to discuss the events of the very first upload on the channel, which debuted in August 2021. Episode 1, titled Cursed Video, runs just over 18 minutes long and follows the endeavors of two TV documentarians out to investigate, as you might expect, a cursed videotape. The duo consists of the project's director and his cameraman, and through narration, it's explained to us that this particular show chose topics based on viewer request. The request this time around came from rumors of a videotape that kills you when you watch it that were circulating online between 2005 to 2009. One post mentions the video store this tape was supposedly being rented out of, and when the duo pull up to the location, it's clear that the place is closing down. By that point, mostly gutted, the pair don't have any luck searching for the tape on their own, and decide to ask a clerk about it. Now, the clerk doesn't know of any cursed videotape, and even asks them if they're actually looking for the ring. With this dead end, the documentarians request to speak with the store manager in the hopes that they might know of what they're seeking. Sure enough, once the manager shows up, he does confirm the existence of said tape, and after half an hour of digging, it's finally unearthed from the seemingly endless piles of boxes that line the store. The cover of this tape is ominous. It even has a warning message slapped right on it, a warning that said tape would do exactly what the rumors said it would. The director asked the manager if there's any truth to this claim, and instead of answering in a straightforward manner, he smiles and says that there's only one way to find out. The video itself is surprisingly uncursed in terms of its imagery. When talking about the cursed videotape trope, we're used to seeing a montage of disturbing imagery, but this video simply isn't that. It's mostly pleasant footage of what appears to be a couple enjoying their time together, and the spooky elements, while there, are pretty mundane compared to what you might expect. At seemingly random intervals, the video abruptly cuts to portraits of presumably deceased individuals. Not anything gruesome or anything like that, but more so photos that you might expect to see at an altar or at a memorial.
ここからです。SSS ビデオ。だいぶ低予算な感じのビデオですね。
今から私が見ました。
多かったですよね。
この作品は千葉県田中聡藤井
あまり見たら死ぬっぽい雰囲気がまあそんなに今のところない、
そうですね。
そうね。あれあれなんですかこれ。
そう、これがね。何見えます？
なんだろうこれ。暗くて。これ家ですねこれ。
僕もそう思います。
なんかすごい唐突にあれ。
お尻がこう、
あれまた戻った。
そうですね。
あ、またか。
ポップに書かれたのは、書いたのはまあこの辺りを見てくれよっていうメッセージですかね。
Following this, the store manager explains how all of this unfolded, how the video itself wasn't very popular at first, but over time, middle schoolers started renting it out upon hearing rumors of a curse. He also notes that at first, there was only a singular portrait spliced into the video, but over time, a sum total of 4 would show up. His explanation? Kids added the photos themselves when they rented the video, simply because they thought it'd be funny or as a way to help perpetuate the now growing urban legend. With this information secured, the director-cameraman duo returned to their car, concluding that in the end, it really was just all a hoax. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering what the point of all this was, as I'm sure many others also felt upon first watching this episode. This is when things take a pretty unexpected turn, however. The narrator chimes back in, explaining that this particular documentary segment never aired on TV, and on top of that, it wasn't even a real documentary at all, but rather a completely fabricated mockumentary. So, if that was the case though, why didn't it air? A few days before it was set to release, the so-called director we saw on screen passed away in a car accident. The so-called cameraman, heart failure, despite being in his 30s. We then cut back to the video store where the director is asking the manager if he can rent the tape. The manager declines but says he can buy it instead. The director agrees. The narrator then tells us that the VHS tape, along with the mockumentary footage, were locked away in the production company's storage until now. They also state that it's unclear if the mockumentary team created the cursed tape themselves. Next, the contents of the recovered videotape is shown. As the video closes, we hear audio of the mockumentary duo speaking, pointing out how the store manager told them that there were 4 portraits spliced into the video, but they only counted 3. Cursed Video is a very strong start to the series, and pretty emblematic of the other episodes that I've watched thus far. It's eerie, devoid of jump scares, and leaves viewers with more questions than answers. That's not to say that you leave feeling unsatisfied, but rather with a sense of unease due to the story's ambiguity. Did this videotape really cause the deaths of the 2 men we saw on screen, or was it all just a tragic coincidence? Did the production company itself manufacture the VHS tape in question? Was there even a rumor online about it at all, or were those screenshots faked? One of the most glaring questions, of course, pertains to the number of portraits present within the video. The store manager says there's 4, but when we see the tape on location, there are 3, just like the duo say. Once we see the tape after it had been recovered from storage, the 4th portrait is there, but who is it of? The usual expected conclusion to this sort of narrative would be if we saw at least a director added to the tape, but that doesn't appear to be what's going on here. It could be the cameraman, but if so, why only him and not both? Of course, we've got unreliable narrators when it comes to this duo, so can we believe any of this at all? Was the 3-portrait, 4-portrait conversation all a part of the script? Episodes 2 and 3 on this channel are equally ambiguous. One is short and sweet, consisting of recordings of seemingly nonsensical and incoherent voicemails left on the answering machine of an unsuspecting woman over 30 years ago. Another chronicles a tale of a group of friends on an annual hike to honor the memory of a late friend when they suddenly stumble upon a bag containing his belongings. While I won't dive into these episodes just yet, both of them offer a setup and just enough additional information to get your brain running in circles, all while sporting a completely unsettling vibe that lingers just long enough to get under your skin. While every story on this channel is different, they all share a common trait of being best enjoyed with no distractions, a pair of headphones, and the lights off. Like I've already mentioned, I can definitely see myself covering more FDQ content on the channel, so do let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.